verdict. Somebody had asked, and by the way, this verdict in the Word of Life case, Sarah Ferguson was convicted of manslaughter, but not on the second-degree murder charge, which came out yesterday, the verdict from Judge Dwyer. Somebody had asked, so why would they have elected to not go before a jury? And do you have any insight on that?
I don't have an official word on why the defense chose to do that, although I think if you just think about it, I've always, when Stephen Barnes got out, he was talking about this idea of professional juries, basically. And it's just because they can understand and are familiar with all these intricacies in the law.
Understand the law.
And won't be swayed by emotion.
And I think that is exactly why Rebecca Whitman, I believe, is the defense attorney. And I think that's exactly why she went down this road. If it's a jury, you're going to have all of the testimony. And I imagine the trial would have been tried differently had there been a jury. Because I would think, how as a prosecutor do you not try to connect emotionally with the jury? So here, what you hope for, I would assume, is for the Judge Dwyer, to simply look at the law. Just look at the law. So there's the testimony, and then where does it fit in legally, as opposed to letting any emotion get in the way? Because one would wonder, could a murder conviction have been found had it been a jury? Had they really been swayed by the way this kid was beaten, and both of these boys were beaten? Would the issue of the potential inappropriate touching, would that have played a role? Would there have been more on that issue explaining, is this something that these kids, we compared it to waterboarding earlier this morning, and the reason why critics of waterboarding say it doesn't work is because you end up getting, when waterboarding, they say you end up getting false results. They'll tell you whatever they have to tell you to get it to stop. And one would think that that's kind of what these kids might have gone through. So how much of the touching is real? How much of the molestation is real? The DA's office, the prosecution, saying there is absolutely no evidence that those children had been molested.
It's interesting. Now, the other thing is there were a total of, I believe, 9 charged. So I think there are 6 trials upcoming, or 6 cases upcoming. Of course, Bruce and Deborah Leonard, in their own separate cases, pled guilty. So this was the first trial, and I believe there could be as many as 6 still to come.
So I'm assuming that the prosecution, the DA's office, gets right back to work, and another trial will be coming. I don't know the exact date of when the next trial is coming, but that gag order that was set by by Judge Dwyer, which I think he vehemently wants no one talking because nobody's able to talk. That is still in place, and we will not be able to get the DA until after this is all said and done, which is unfortunate. But again, what the public thinks, what we think at this point really doesn't matter.
Right. Now,
this case did not include a jury. It'll be interesting to see what the defense chooses next in the next case, if they'll go the same route, if they have that opportunity to have this just before the judge. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of that. Interesting story out of Florida. We've been talking about alligators, and the Disney alligator attack. I don't know if you saw, but they have now photos of or pictures. I guess the pictures that we're seeing are pictures. They're signs that all along any of the beach areas at Disney now, warning people of alligators and snakes specifically. Before, there were just signs that said no wading and no swimming. Now they specifically say snakes and alligators in hopes of keeping people away. A guy in Florida dropped his iPhone on Saturday when he was trying to take pictures of an 8-foot alligator. The alligator then tried to take the phone. The guy fought the alligator because he didn't want him to eat his telephone, his iPhone. It took an hour, but the gator finally gave up. He fought with this alligator for an hour. So why did he do it? He said he did it because his kids' pictures were on the iPhone. Listen. Go figure. He did not wrestle the gator, but he basically fought and struggled in a way with the alligator, and it lasted for over an hour. That's a little condensed right there. But when he got the phone back, it would not turn on. However, he's still hoping he's going to be able to get the photos off the iPhone. Pretty crazy. 8:45. Lise Wheel coming up from Fox News. She picks 3 legal stories from the week, and digs in. We're going to talk to her coming up in just about 3 minutes here at WIBX.